Hi, thank you for joining me. I've talked before about the importance of treatment and medication. In this video, I'm going to talk about taking antidepressants because they are probably one of the most feared drugs. Antidepressants get a bad rap. They're very demonized. People resist taking them even when they're in dire straits, mostly because of hearsay. There are some things that need setting straight. First of all, they're not happy pills, as some people like to call them. They don't make you feel euphoric and on top of the world. They just take away the worst of the symptoms, so you can function normally. They restore your brain chemistry to normal. They don't take away all feeling and turn you into a walking zombie, as some people seem to think. Strangely, a lot of people who condemn antidepressants so strongly self-medicate with alcohol, cigarettes and recreational drugs. Somehow that's okay to them, while taking antidepressants isn't. Where's the sense in that? Some of us need them to be well, because we have defects in brain functioning. Some of us don't naturally feel okay, because we don't have the necessary brain setup, and you need medication to correct that. If you're one of those people, like I am, that's just the way it is, and there's nothing you can do about it. I was in my late teens when I was first prescribed antidepressants. I have just always been anxious, ever since I can remember, because I have Asperger's, which is an autistic spectrum condition. But I didn't know that for a long time. I will be doing more videos specifically on that. But that was the reason I was anxious, because high levels of anxiety are part of the condition. It certainly wasn't because I chose to be that way, because for years I was trying to choose not to be. I can remember feeling like this from when I was 3 or 4 years old, and at that age, how could I have made a choice like that? And feeling anxious, threatened, insecure, having difficulty making friends, getting grief from teachers. Why on earth would I have chosen that? I did everything I could to try and fix myself and reprogram my mind to not be anxious, but it never worked. I considered just about everything: hypnosis, electroshock therapy. I was on and off the antidepressants for many years. When I got really low, or when I went through a crisis in my life, I would go on them. And when life was going okay, I would think I didn't need them anymore and come off them. But then I would start going back down again until I was in a bad state. Then I would go back on them. The last time I came off them was the worst it's ever been. The anxiety was just off the scale. But it made one thing clear, that I have to be on them. It's that simple. There is no two ways about that. There are always articles online saying that they're dangerous and that reports about their effects have been suppressed and kept secret, usually written by Puritan alternative treatment practitioners who want to sell their products. I mean, if that's true, and all these reports of being coveted, how did they get their hands on them? It can be tough when you first start taking antidepressants or other psychiatric meds because that's when you're most likely to experience side effects. The first 2 weeks are the hardest. Sometimes you can feel worse initially because your body and your brain are adjusting to them. A lot of people give up at this stage and stop taking them, but often they fail to realise that this is temporary. After 2 weeks they start to work and the side effects usually start to decrease. It takes around 6 to 8 weeks to get the full effect. By that time, usually you will feel a difference and the side effects will be mostly gone. You should be closely monitored during those first few weeks so the doctor can see whether it's right for you or not, and you should talk to the doctor if you're having really bad side effects and struggling to cope. You have to get the dose right, so sometimes it can take longer to feel better if they have to increase the dose, because you have to start off on the lowest dose and it needs time to take effect each time it's increased. That part is difficult and frustrating, And a lot of people just think, oh, well, they're not working, and stop taking them. But in doing that, they set themselves back in their recovery. Unfortunately, that is the way with psychiatric drugs. It's a slow process, and sometimes it takes time to find the one that works for you. There isn't one single antidepressant that works for everyone. With any drug, you can have an adverse reaction, but just because someone else had bad side effects doesn't mean you will. Every person's response is different. What works well for one person might not work for someone else. That's why online chat forums are a bad idea. I had some side effects initially when I started on them again, but I don't feel any side effects now. You wouldn't think twice about taking insulin if you were diabetic. Taking antidepressants is no different. If they are what you need, then nothing is going to change that. Taking psychiatric meds may not be what you would choose, but believe me, it's a lot better than the alternative. There is a lot of judgment and blame around taking them, and it is wrong, because other people are not in your skin. It's not their place to say what is right or wrong for you on anything. So be open to the idea of taking them if you need to, because being well is more important than anything else. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for watching. See you next time.